What's going on, everybody? Let me see. Let's see if we're live here. We are live. All right, so let me hop up in the live stream, and we're in here. Let me see how everything looks. I feel like the camera's a little off center. That's okay. It's yeah, it's not too bad. Real live talk. What up, real talk? What's up, Ty Ty? Let me just give everyone a second to get up in the stream. Let me adjust some of the settings here on YouTube. So give me about 30 seconds or so. How's everybody doing? Everybody having a great weekend so far? Check the chat. Go to sleep, Christina and Jason. What's going on, guys? What's going on? I got a bunch of trolls in the comments. What's going on, everybody? Let's see how many people we got in the chat so far. 7 people. Go to sleep. You told me you were going to sleep. For those of you who don't know, Christina is my fiance, who we talked about on last week's live stream. She's trolling right now in the chat section. All right. Okay, so everything is set up and good to go. All right, let's see who's on here. Yeah, I did see the Pac-Man cabinet. I saw a Cool Toys video. I think that was yesterday. I mean, it was already, like, heavily rumored, so we pretty much knew it was coming, and I think Walmart of Canada posted pictures of it, but then took it down. You know, it's the internet, so as soon as you post something, you know, everyone screenshots it. But now it's, I guess, like, not officially announced by the company, but we saw the leaked images. It looks pretty cool. It's not something I would personally be picking up, but it does look pretty cool. I like the yellow and black design of the cabinet. I wish they would have kept that red trim. That red trim really helped break the colors up and helped it pop. Christina on that real talk. If you're still in here, Christina, you just officially been real talkified. So... your mom likes Pac-Man. I mean, my mom is your mom, so I'll take that. Wondering when Arcade1Up will start promoting their cabinets. What do you mean as far as promotion? I've been seeing like advertisements on YouTube, and actually the GameStop page has some pretty good advertisement as well. Any new Funko stuff? No, actually, but I do have the new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the villains that released. I do have some of those coming out in the mail, and for some reason my speaker is like flickering. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's really strange. I'm gonna turn that off for now. No, that's not a new Power Rangers figure behind me, unfortunately. But as I was saying, Tai Tai, yeah, I got the new villains that just released. They're actually shipped. They're on the way, and I'll have a review on that. So oh great, I just knocked over a bunch of them, whatever. So it's Rita, Lord Zed, and Goldar. So I'll have a review on those, and then I have the glow-in-the-dark Megazord on pre-order, so whenever that ships, I'll have that one as well. It's definitely Morphin Time talk. Definitely Morphin Time. Let me see who's in here. I know someone wanted me to do a Shenmue breakdown, but I don't think he's in the chat yet. So I don't want to do it and then he misses it. No vodka in that punch. This is actually cranberry raspberry juice. But yeah, so we are exactly a month away from Arcade1Up releasing, and I still don't know whether or not I'm actually officially getting a review cabinet. I told the story last week on the live stream, and I actually reached out during the week to email again to find out whether or not I'm getting a live stream, and I haven't. Whether or not I'm getting a live stream, I might have some vodka in there. Whether or not I'm getting a cabinet. And nobody's really replied back to me, so I'm unclear. Hopefully one shows up on my doorstep this coming week, but who knows. No, it's the cranberry raspberry, not the white cranberry. I would hope so, but no, there's no official talk or not even rumors of a 4-player cabinet, and especially since they made Gauntlet only 2 players when it's a 4-player game and it's on the 3-player cabinet, that was a little strange. But there's been no official announcement of a 4-player cabinet. I hope they would, but with the scale that they're working with, I don't know if it would work, so they would have to make bigger size cabinets, and I don't know if that's something they necessarily want to do. I was about to tell everybody where I got that shirt, but I saw it was you commenting, because you have nothing better to do right now when you should be going to sleep. Am I excited for Venom? No, and only because it's not Marvel directly. Marvel Studios making it. What is it, Sony that's making it? So I'm not like as hype as I would be if Marvel was the one making it. But I'm still excited to see it. I don't know if I'm gonna see it in theaters. I might wait to see what the reviews are like, and if it's worth seeing in theaters, I might see it like the day after it releases or whatever, or I might just hold off and watch it somewhere down the line. But I'm not super excited for it, but I am interested. Yeah, Spider-Man PS4. What do we have? 2 weeks left for that. A trilogy series with Venom. Well, hopefully Spider-Man makes a cameo in it, and hopefully they bring on Carnage. You can't bring out a Venom movie without either of those, so hopefully we get that. But how are they going to do a trilogy without having Spider-Man in it? Because Venom... I want to know how they're going to flip the story, because Venom only exists because of Spider-Man. For anyone who knows like the backstory of the comics, Spider-Man had the black symbiote suit, and he had that for a while. Then when he got rid of the suit, the symbiote took over Eddie Brock, which had the characteristics of Spider-Man, obviously because it was the previous like owner or whatever. So that's how Venom even exists. And without having Spider-Man in this movie, at least that we know of, I want to see what the whole backstory is as far as how he gets it, how the symbiote comes to be, how Venom gets his powers, and all of that. So that's going to be interesting. I'm not doing the one-chip challenge again, but you or Jason are more than welcome to go ahead and try it, since it was Jason's idea and he still hasn't done it yet. And rest in peace to the Dino Thunder Ranger that fell over back there. I mean, I wouldn't mind Spider-Man villain movies. I think they're actually, what is the symbiote? There's 5 of them. It's Venom, Carnage, Scream. There's like 5 of them. I know. I think Scream. You can see her or the symbiote of her somewhere in the trailer. It would be really cool if we get all 5 of the symbiote team in the movie, and if not in this movie, in a future movie. I think that would be really, really cool. Do I own any Marvel Legends? Not a lot. I have Venom, but not the one that just recently released, the one that released a few years ago. And then I have the Black Suit Spider-Man, and I have the Netflix Punisher and Netflix Jessica Jones, and I think that might be it. Honestly, the only reason I don't collect Marvel Legends is because there's so many of them, and they release so many waves, and it's too much to collect. My Black Series collection is already bad enough. So we have any Arcade1Up people in here? Any questions on that? Christina, go to sleep. I don't even know what you're saying. Probably not. You got a lot in that room. Okay. Anyways, any Arcade1Up questions? We got obviously the Pac-Man cabinet that got leaked. Target finally added them to their website, and they only have the Street Fighter and the Asteroids cabinet for some reason, and they are charging $350 instead of $300 like Walmart and GameStop. So Walmart and GameStop are the cheapest places to pick them up right now, and then Target, and then we all know what FYE is doing, and who else was on there? Whoever else the other company was. Bed Bath & Beyond. Bed Bath & Beyond is also $300. I'm sorry. So Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, and GameStop are the 3 cheapest places to get them. Which Build-A-Figure from which wave? Because there's a couple of waves. There's a new one coming out, and then there's the older one. Target will price match Walmart. I saw someone earlier saying, I don't know how true that was, that they won't match any online offers. So I don't know, but I know Target's pretty good about that stuff. And if you have the red card, not that it matters at the $350 price point, but if you have the red card credit card, you get 5% off, which basically like knocks off tax. And I'm in Florida, so tax is 6%, and 5% gets taken off from the red card, so you basically don't pay tax. What am I dodging? Oh, hold on, I didn't even see your comment. Am I gonna be the first to play? Not if you're not here filming the review with me. Matthew might be the first person to play. But I will definitely win. You probably haven't played Street Fighter in about 30 years. So, yeah. I'm definitely going to win. I'm not trying to sell people credit cards. I said if they had the credit card. So, yeah. Let me pull up the Target Arcade1Up listing. I didn't really make a video about it just because there wasn't anything to talk about. But when I get some more news, I'll definitely throw that into the video. Arcade1Up actually did put a new like diagram on their website because of all the confusion. I don't know if you guys can even see this. But with all the confusion with the size of the riser and how they were giving bad information and all the websites had bad information, you can see they put the measurements with the new display on there with the correct information, at least what we think is the correct information. We won't know until we actually get it on there. Bed Bath & Beyond Canada also listed up the what's it called, the arcade cabinets. So yeah, they're $349.99 at Target. Let's see what the description says as far as like price matching or anything. I don't know if it'll even say that here. Yeah, there's really nothing here other than the measurements, really. But yeah, $349.99. Do I collect the Dorbs? No. I might have might have one in my collection somewhere. I'm looking around. I don't have one that I can see, but no, I don't collect any of the Dorbs. Six months, no interest. Where do you work at? Too many comments. Go to sleep. They said something about making bigger risers next year and looking into more options on configure the game options. So basically, they took my deluxe riser theory and they're planning to make it a reality. That is hilarious. If that happens, that will make my day. So stay tuned. Next year, if that comes to reality, just know that my video this year called it with the false information that Bed Bath & Beyond gave us. So you heard it here first. And as far as configuring the game options, I mean, to me, it really doesn't make that big of a deal. I know a lot of people are complaining about not being able to change the difficulty and all that. I really don't care. I'm going to play regardless. And I think I said this in my last live stream. When you walked up to an arcade cabinet, you as the player didn't have, excuse me, you didn't have the option to change the options. It was the owner of the cabinet that changed the options, you know, whenever they received the cabinet or, you know, before or after business hours or whatever. So even, you know, as a player, you didn't have the ability to change the options. And I don't know how many owners of arcade cabinets actually did change options. So it's still that normal experience to me. I know now if you go and buy like an old school arcade cabinet, obviously you can change the options or whatever, but I don't know, to me it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, just me personally. But you know, for the people that do want that, at least we know that they're looking into it for next year. You're waiting for the next series of cabinets. They're gonna announce something in October, which more than likely it's going to be that Pac-Man cabinet that leaked the other day, and then I think they're announcing one or two things in October. And then in January, I believe they're going to be announcing more. So it'll be interesting to see whatever January is, if it doesn't leak by then, because all the info with this company leaks all over. So if we don't find out by January, hopefully, then hopefully they got some big surprises for us in store in January. I saw Arcade1Up retweeted a picture of somebody who built like a custom little like I don't even know, they like took out a part of a wall in their home, and they kind of just pushed the wall in, I guess, built like a little like alcove type of thing, and basically they left the bottom half of the wall, so they have like basically a platform to put their arcade cabinets, and they made a whole section dedicated to Arcade1Up cabinets that they're going to put there. I thought that was pretty cool. It's on their Twitter somewhere. I believe yesterday they retweeted it. Hey man, you gotta let us all come over to your basement once you finish that. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, I would love to do that. I just don't have the space for it. But once I get my own dedicated toy room slash game room that I don't sleep in, I'm definitely gonna have like a couple more of the arcade cabinets so I can have going on. I already have one 50-inch TV in here, and then two, I think these are 9-inch CRT TVs in here. So I want to have multiple gaming areas. I have two so far, but I definitely would like to have a lot more. Yes, you heard me correctly. You know what the deal is, man. Don't act surprised. Seriously, go to sleep. You texted me you were going to sleep like 30 minutes ago. How are you at PUBG Mobile? Why don't you ask Christina how I am at PUBG Mobile? Because I am the best. Can the controls be modded, and what can they be modded with? From the screenshots that we saw from some YouTuber who I don't even know who the heck she is or why she got a cabinet to begin with, but she took apart the cabinet, and it looks like you will easily be able to swap out the controls with basically whatever eBay parts you can find, whatever buttons, whatever joysticks. So that's a good thing. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. Controls don't really matter to me personally. Like, I'm cool with whatever. So I'll just be keeping the buttons that they come with. But from what I'm reading online and on the Facebook group page and all that, you should be able to swap out the different types of buttons. I don't suck, and you know that. No, I'm pretty good. Mostly, like, every time I play, I'm in the top 10s. And we get, like, first place, like, quite often. Like, anytime we play, we're basically getting first place at least 1 or 2 matches. On mobile, I'm very good on mobile. I suck on the Xbox version, and that's because the Xbox version is completely trash, and I regret buying it. Yeah, she really had no idea what she had, but I guess if anything good came out of that review, it's that she was able to take apart the insides and willing to show it because nobody else did. So that's the only benefit we got from that review. But yeah, she had no clue what she was doing. Either or, you can put. Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure you could put either Hap or Sanwa into the cabinets. You may have to do some tinkering around to get them to work or fit properly, but from what I've heard, you are going to be able to swap them. And we'll play, depending when this live stream's over, if I have time, I'll play with you. I'll message you on Instagram. Well, because she has no idea what she's doing with that cabinet, I'm sure she probably hasn't even touched it again afterwards. Her boyfriend's probably playing that cabinet more than she is. No, you're going to sleep. I'm not playing with you. Go to sleep. You have studying to do tomorrow. You honestly didn't miss too much. We talked about the rumored Pac-Man cabinet, that the images leaked, and we talked about Target posting the cabinets on their website for $350. And as far as like major things, that's all we really talked about. The rest has been kind of just messing around, having fun with everybody in here. Yeah, you might have to make some of the holes maybe a little wider or whatever. But I'm not I'm not gonna get into all that. Did you guys talk about that review that Ass Clown posted? No, we did not. And I completely forgot about that. I hate that guy. Oh man, so if you guys weren't aware, somebody posted a review of the arcade cabinets. Except he didn't actually have a cabinet physically in front of him to review. He was going based off of screenshots and just measurements online and just his general overall idea. So he titled the video Arcade1Up Review, and basically spent the whole video talking about how the cabinets are going to suck, how they're too small, how this, that, and the other, whatever. He just spent the entire video bashing the cabinets, and I just don't think it's fair to bash something or even to say something is like the greatest thing ever unless you physically, you can't call it a review unless you have it. You know, like I'll be reviewing this because I have it in front of me, and this is super dusty, but I can't, if I don't have this in front of me, I can't make a review on this based on, you know, pictures or whatever. He could have called it anything else, but to call it a review. And then he also stole some of my custom-made images that I used for my thumbnails and put it in his video, which I didn't have a problem with. That was cool. You know, whatever. but then I was going through the comments of his video, and somebody called him out on that. And he said that he didn't steal any pictures, and any pictures he got, someone else just got from somewhere else, so it really doesn't matter. So then I told him that those are my images that I personally made myself with my image editor, and you know, I didn't have a problem. They stole it, but don't tell people that you didn't steal it. And then he said, well, your YouTube channel logo and profile picture, you stole that from Disney. So he was a complete idiot. But I'm not even gonna to tell you guys where to look for that video, because honestly, we all hated the video so much. We gave it way more views than it deserved. The last time I commented on it, it had like 100 something views, which is way more than it deserved, and it's got way more thumbs downs and thumbs ups. But he may have even taken the video down by now. I don't know. What cabinet am I getting? I'm getting the Street Fighter cabinet. Yeah, the preview review guy. He's basically Johnny Lou 2.0. If you remember when these cabinets first got announced, and that guy Johnny Lou was making videos talking about how these cabinets are going to suck without even really... He didn't even know as much information as we know now. This was like the first week that the cabinets were announced. NBA Jam, NBA Hang Time, NFL Blitz, all in one cabinet. They're all made by Midway, so there's no reason that they shouldn't get that. But NBA Hang Time really isn't as popular as NBA Jam, so I think they'll completely overlook Hang Time. Metal Jesus, somebody told me that he received the Street Fighter cabinet, and he's waiting for... They said they were going to send him an Asteroids or a Centipede cabinet. I forget which one. So he's waiting to receive that second cabinet in order to do its review. I guess he doesn't want to do two separate two separate reviews, because a lot of it will be repeated information, I'm assuming. So that, from what I've heard, that's what we're waiting for. But yeah, Metal Jesus, I'm definitely looking forward to his review. I respect everything he does. He's a reputable source for a review, so I'm looking forward to Metal Jesus. Yeah, that Best Buy Deluxe cabinet, I don't think we're ever going to see it until the launch day, the 25th. I know Fry's had it on their website sometime last week, and I posted a video on it and letting you guys know, and then like a few minutes later, I think it's sold out. Then they like took it off their website, and then they put it back on, but now it says sold out. So some people were able to get their hands on them, but I think Fry's just screwed up and released it early. So not really sure what they had going on there. Yeah, I hope Marvel vs. Capcom definitely does happen. Do you think 4-player controls would fit on a TMT or NBA Jam panel in that form factor? Not in that form factor. Definitely not. They'd have to make the cabinets a little bit bigger. Not even necessarily taller, maybe just wider. But even with 4 players, you may need a bigger screen as well. So maybe they'll make it some kind of like deluxe size cabinet. Yeah, I mean, he didn't really get mad. He was just, I don't know, he was being a troll, really. He's just like, thinks he's right about everything, basically. I didn't even care that he used my image, you know, whatever. It's not that big of a deal. But, you know, it is what it is. How did you not get a review cabinet? I don't know. So here's the deal with those. Some people got like the first initial wave of review cabinets, went out to like the big reviewers like Metal Jesus, and then they have a second wave of review cabinets that they said would be shipping out. I think sometime during the week that just passed. So they said that, you know, anticipate having a cabinet by the end of next week, so Friday, which is I believe the 30th. What day is Friday? The 31st is Friday. So I'm hoping I have a review unit by then, but nobody has confirmed with me for sure that I'm getting a review unit. I asked about getting a review unit. I asked them what info they would need from me. They asked for my address. I gave them my address and haven't heard anything back since. And I sent a follow-up email earlier this week asking them, just making sure you guys got my address and can you confirm if I will or will not be receiving a review copy. And I haven't got an email back from that. So I'm really unsure. If I get one, I get one. If not, then it is what it is. But I'm trying, so we'll see what happens. Yo, what's good? Someone asked if Arcade1Up will have access to Street Fighter settings, and they said we're looking into it. I think we're looking into it means probably not, but I'm just going to tell you we're looking into it to make you happy, I guess. I don't know. That's something they would have to add on later. It's not something they can add on now since the cabinets come out in a month. It's not like they have any updates, like DLC updates or anything like that you can do with the cabinets to add the settings in afterwards. So that's Alright, so here's the guy that was asking about Shenmue. So I never played Shenmue before, and I've always heard so many great things about Shenmue. It was revolutionary. It's one of the best games of all time. It's on the top of every Dreamcast list and every Xbox list as far as the top games. So when they announced the remastered edition for $30, I figured, hey, $30, decent price. I'll try it. And I put about, I don't know, maybe 5 or so hours into Shenmue 1. And I don't know, man. I'm not enjoying it too much. Like, there's certain aspects of the game I like. As far as they have like an arcade that you can go to and you can actually play like legit arcade games, and you can play darts and you can do a lot of stuff to kill time, and it's a very interactive game, but it's a very boring game, really. I think I have to get used to it. I'm definitely giving it a try and trying to play through it. The graphics look decent. It's not a complete remaster. They're just using upscaling, but the graphics look good. The voice acting still sucks. I knew it sucked on the original. It's bad now, but I can look past that. That's not a big deal. The gameplay to me is just very boring and tedious. Like, I played 5 hours and I feel like I got nowhere in the game because it's basically you just have to walk around asking people questions until you ask the right person the right question to find the right clue to move on to the next objective, really. And then when you get to the next objective, you just have to ask another person another question. I don't know if that's just the first part of the game that's like that, and maybe it picks up, but I haven't had any action scenes, no fighting, which I knew it wasn't like a completely like GTA style action game or anything like that, but I thought there was going to be at least some amount of action. But I can imagine for the time when it came out in 2000 that it was completely revolutionary and we never seen anything like that. And another thing that I don't like about the game is certain people you can only find at nighttime. So if it's morning, if it's 8:30 in the morning in the game, you literally have to wait. Obviously the game time is sped up, but you literally have to wait until nighttime in order to get to that person. And there's no way to fast forward the time that I'm aware of or anything. So you literally just have to walk around and explore to kill time until it's nighttime in the game. And that's very annoying to me because I can spend maybe 20-30 minutes in real life waiting around for it to be nighttime. And I do go to the arcade in the game to kill time or whatever, but there's only so much you can do to kill time until nighttime. And then when it is nighttime, you only have a few hours to do whatever you have to do because your curfew is 11 o'clock and you have to make it home by then. So I'm not the biggest fan of it. I see that it definitely has potential, and I am going to give it a try and play through it as much as I can. I took a little break the last couple days because I was getting annoyed with it, but I'm definitely going to give it a try and try to adjust to it and try and play it. Okay, so that was a very long review. Where are we now? From the leaked images on those cocktail cabinets, it looks like some of them are just going to be straight up re-releases. of the standard cabinet. So we got the Street Fighter cocktail cabinet images we saw. There's a Pac-Man, a Space Invaders, and a Centipede one. So it looks like they're just changing the form factor of the cabinet, of the existing cabinets, and just making it into a cocktail cabinet. I'm not a big anime fan. Not really. Thanks, man. I got this shirt from Walmart. It was only $5, and I actually need to get caught up with the Voltron Netflix series. I've only seen season 1. I think they're on like season 7 or 8 right now, and that's a great series. I have to continue on with that. Yeah, I could definitely see how for its time it was amazing. Now it doesn't hold up as well. I see a lot of people saying that if you want to experience Shenmue, just play Yakuza, and it's a lot better, a lot more action and stuff like that. But I'm definitely gonna try and play through it. And even if I don't end up playing through it or whatever, it was only $30 for the 2 games, and it came with a double-sided poster, which was really cool. And it's just a cool title to have in my collection, whether I like it or not. It's a piece of video game history. So it's great to have it, and it's a lot cheaper than trying to go out and find the Dreamcast and Xbox versions. I'm actually thinking about getting on eBay a door panel like decal and just sticking it on my arcade 1-up cabinet. Do I have all the main consoles PSVR? I don't have PSVR, but I do have almost like every console. Not every console, but I'll just run through them. I have a NES. I don't have a Super Nintendo yet, an official one, so I have the Retron 2 holding its place until I find one at a decent price. I have a 64, Nintendo 64. I have 3 GameCubes. I have the Indigo, Platinum, and the Black. I have a Wii. I have the original Xbox. I have the 2 original Xbox 360s, one black and one white. I have an Xbox 360 Slim in black. I have a Dreamcast. I have a PS1, PS2, the fat model, PS3, the fat model, PS4, the slim model. I have a Switch. I have the original Xbox One, the Day 1 edition, and the Xbox One X. I have the original Sega Genesis Model 1. And then I have a bunch of handhelds, Game Boy Colors, Advance, SP, PSP. What else? What else? I have the NES Classic, Super Nintendo Classic. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Hey, honestly, I've been trying to find news for the Arcade1Up for everyone internationally that's not in the U.S. and I actually emailed them about if they could send me any information for the international customers, and I didn't get a reply. So it's hard trying to find info for you guys. I did the best I could as far as reaching out to them, and they just haven't gave me an answer yet. Why am I so into this Arcade1Up thing? Well, I mean, if you can see, I'm big into retro gaming. I love retro gaming, and I think the Arcade1Up things are pretty awesome. I've always wanted an arcade cabinet, but I didn't have the space, and I didn't want to drop a whole ton of money into a legit arcade cabinet or even into a retro Pi or whatever. I'm not big into emulation. I like playing the game on original hardware or like close to original hardware. So having the Arcade1Up machine with the right not graphics in the game, but the graphics on the actual cabinet, I just think it's really cool. It's a really cool collector's item, and I love Street Fighter. Street Fighter is one of my favorite games of all time. So when I saw the Street Fighter cabinet, that's what brought me into the Arcade1Up scene, basically. I didn't really care about the Centipede or the Asteroids cabinet. I really cared and really wanted that Street Fighter cabinet. And if they didn't have a Street Fighter cabinet, I probably would have overlooked these. But having that Street Fighter cabinet, it brought me in, and I just think what they're doing is really amazing. And I know, you know, a lot of people say that you can get a MAME arcade or a Raspberry Pi arcade or whatever, which is cool, but it's not what I'm personally into. Have I talked to anyone directly from Arcade1Up? Yeah, I got an email like a week after I started making videos about Arcade1Up. They asked me if I wanted to be on their press list, which basically means that they would send me out any new info as it's ready to release. And then I asked them about getting a review copy. They asked for my address. I gave them my address, and that was all that I've heard from Arcade1Up directly. I haven't got an email back about anything else from Arcade1Up. Actually, I don't have a spot yet for the Street Fighter cabinet. I honestly have no clue where I'm going to put it. Especially since I'm going to be moving out of this apartment and I have to tear down this toy room and game room. So I'm just buying it now and dealing with it later, really. For right now, I am only thinking about getting one. With the initial lineup of cabinets. If they make another cabinet in the future that I'm really into, then I'll probably pick it up, depending on space. But I mean, everyone's always been telling me I've been running out of space in my room for like 5 years, and I always find a way to reinvent space. If I need space, you know, I can throw a shelf up on the wall and take the stuff that's, you know, on the floor, where, not on the floor, but, you know, like if I had something here and I needed to put the cabinet here, I can always mount a shelf or something on the wall to free up this space. So there's possibilities. I got this chair here that really does nothing but I throw my clothes on, that you guys can't see because I cut it off. But I can move this chair out of the room and put the cabinet here or put something here. So there's always space. I'd buy it now and forget it later. Yeah, it's great to see the people that have actual arcade cabinets or even MAME arcades or whatever that have the like legit thing still into these things. I really do appreciate that from you guys, because there's so many people like arcade purists that just can't stand the sight or the mention of these things, and really that I don't understand that. I don't know how a product releasing could get you so upset. If you don't like it, just don't buy it and move on with your life. I don't understand how people get so upset and have so much hate for these things. I really don't. Might be a typo. Maybe they just forgot to put Arcade1Up on their website and put Arcade1. I mean, that's possible. There's been so many errors with listings of these on websites and whatnot that that could just be the issue. At Darkwing, I haven't scored yet, and I appreciate you reaching out to them, and I know a few other people reached out to them and recommended that I get one. I still haven't received one yet. I don't know if they're sending it to me. Nobody has reached out since I emailed them initially asking them for a review copy. No one has really reached out after you guys have recommended. So I really don't know what's going on. I don't know if I'm getting one. I guess we'll see this week. If I were to be getting one, it would arrive this week. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. I'm really, really hoping I do. I don't know if Cool Toy's getting one. He hasn't mentioned to me. I don't know if he's emailed them. I hope that he gets one. And, you know, I feel like me and him definitely, like, no one really ever deserves anything for free, you know. So that doesn't really sound right. But, you know, we've just been doing so much free promo for Arcade1Up and so much coverage and info. You know, I feel like we owe it to you guys to get our thoughts and opinions on the cabinets out to you guys before release date, to help you guys decide whether or not, whether you do decide, or you decide that after seeing our review that you don't want to get one. I just feel like we've really been the ones doing it, and we owe it to you guys. I don't want to say we deserve, because we really don't ever deserve anything for free, but we owe it to you guys to give our thoughts and opinions on the cabinet. That's weird. Maybe it's like some kind of knockoff brand that's trying to copy what Arcade1Up is doing. Honestly though, it's not necessarily about the subscribers. Obviously the people who got like that first batch of review copies, they had a bunch of subscribers. But I've been talking to people who have like 100, who have like 100 subscribers on YouTube that are getting a review copy, and I don't really, or at least they claim that Arcade1Up is going to be sending them a review copy. So I'm not really sure how they're doing it, how it works. There's one guy on Facebook who only has 100 subscribers on YouTube, but he's kind of well known on like the gaming group pages on Facebook. He's getting a review copy. And he messaged me. He said he definitely feels like I should be getting one too, because he feels like he's the last person that deserves a review copy. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I don't want to harass them, or because I don't want to come off as entitled or anything like that. Because I'm really not entitled to anything. I'm just grateful if they do send one my way. I'll check the website out after the live stream. Yo, Ed, I saw your video talking about you reaching out to them to be a tester or whatever. I saw that video. How am I liking Shenmue so far? Honestly, I did a mini review like maybe 5 minutes ago on it. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I'm definitely trying to give it a chance and play through it. I can see how it was at the time revolutionary, but right now it's kind of hard to get through. But it's definitely a piece of video game history that even if I end up not playing through the whole game, I'm glad to have it in my collection. Letting you know that you're doing a great job on your 1UP cabinet. If it wasn't for you making the content of this product, I would have never found your channel or Cool Toys. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. I take pride in being, and I know Cool Toy does as well. We take pride in being one of the only people that are covering it on YouTube, and we really enjoy getting this info out to you guys and interacting with everybody. And most of my subscribers, especially everyone in this live stream, most of the traffic on my channel right now has all been Arcade1Up related, and it's really cool to have all you guys behind us. And this is really like the biggest my channel has ever been, and the most interactive my channel has ever been. If I were to do live streams like maybe a month ago, I wouldn't have this many of you in here, and this chat definitely wouldn't be going as constant. So I love the group of people that I brought onto this channel. I'm glad that Arcade1Up has helped me meet and interact with all of you. Your cabinet info is amazing. Thank you, Darkwing. You guys bring the best content. Oh, hold on, I lost the chat. You guys bring the best content for this brand, and I believe you two of all people deserve a free cabinet. I appreciate that. I'm a huge fan of the channel. Thank you. Def agree. Thanks for all your update videos. Doing a great job. Thank you guys. Thank you. Tai, I consider you probably my biggest fan, and I hate to say fan, but you know what I mean. You've been here for months. When did you subscribe to me, Tai? You've been here for a while. You watch all of my videos. You are usually one of the first people to comment on my videos. So I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, man, that was that Street Fighter Final Fight cabinet. That would have been amazing. It sucks that it was a prototype. From what I heard, Capcom eventually wanted Street Fighter to be its own standalone cabinet. I guess to make more money off because they know people are gonna buy a Street Fighter cabinet and they know how amazing that Final Fight cabinet is. So they figure people are gonna buy both of those cabinets. So I'm assuming it was just a thing to make more money. And nice Snoop Dogg reference. Nah, no gin and juice. This is just some cranberry juice, man. What are my thoughts on modding these cabinets? As far as what? Do you mean my thoughts like will we be able to, or what mods I would do, you know, once I get the cabinet? And, you know, I don't know if this will help me or Cool Toy as far as getting a review copy, but if you guys, I know some of you have already, like Darkwing said earlier, if you guys want to email or message Arcade1Up on Facebook and, you know, really let them know about us, because we are smaller channels at the end of the day, so maybe they haven't seen these videos. I know they've seen a couple of them, but a couple of mine at least, and I'm sure they've probably seen Cool Toys as well. If you guys want to message them and let them know that you know, you feel like we should get review copies or whatever, you know, maybe they'll, if enough of you message them and email them, maybe they'll listen. Winter time you subbed. It feels like a lot longer than that, bro. But yeah, you've been around for a while, and you know you're one of my biggest fans. I don't know if I can call you a fan, but you know what I mean, bro. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you guys do have the Mortal Kombat cabinet over there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate you, Darkwing. What did you guys think of my my top 10 cabinets list? Did you guys, if you saw it, did you agree with it? Did you like? I threw a bunch of different arcades games in there that not a lot of people would have picked. Yeah, he's. I think he's talking about the Mortal Kombat cabinet because he's not in the U.S. and I think overseas they're getting a Mortal Kombat cabinet. Yeah, we had Real Talk show up. Real Talk was one of the first people in here. We need Mr. Quack, the Quack guy. How long? Hey, can someone tell me how long this stream has been going? I think it's been an hour, right? Let me see how much battery I have left on my phone. Hold on a second. I had 60% when we started. Let's see. I had 26% left. So I can probably go for a little longer. 53 minutes. Alright, cool. Thanks. What time is it? 11. It's 11:28 for me. Yeah, we'll go for a little longer. Thanks. You can find this shirt. Well, I don't know if you can find it at your local Walmart, but I found this shirt at Walmart a few months back. It was only $5. You really can't beat that. And in my first live stream, the Sonic the Hedgehog shirt I was wearing, I got that from Walmart as well for $5. I got those two shirts on the same day. I am actually not moving into a bigger space. Most of this stuff is actually going to have to get put in a storage unit. I am moving back in with my parents for about a year to save money because I'm getting married. And rent kills me here. I pay a lot of money in rent here. So I'm moving back home to save some money for about a year. And then after that, probably like a year and a half after that, I'm going to get a different apartment and I'm going to get a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, or I don't know if it'll be 2-bathroom, but I'm definitely getting an apartment with 2 bedrooms so I can have a dedicated gaming area because right now I sleep in here. So right in front of me, I have my bed with the camera is resting on and everything. So I'm definitely gonna have my own dedicated space for the toy and gaming section. Appreciate it, Darkwing. Oh yeah, my channel is definitely still gonna be going. That's not changing. Channel will always be going. My channel's actually evolved since a lot of you have showed up. I used to do a lot of unboxings and reviews, but I haven't been buying stuff at the rate that I used to. So actually doing these news videos is actually very convenient for me, because before, when I didn't have anything to review or to unbox, I just wouldn't make a video. But with these news videos, it's a lot easier to make videos for you guys, because I don't have to actually go out and buy something or have something in front of me to review. And doing like my little slideshows that I do for my video, it's just a lot easier. So this channel is definitely going to be going. I'll still have reviews even while I'm back home. I'm still going to bring my setup with me and everything. I won't have everything necessarily on display, like the whole collection. I'll have a little bit of it that I'll bring back with me, but I am going to get a storage unit and put most of this stuff away for about a year. Man, my wife isn't going to. She's asleep by like 10 o'clock every night, so I'll be up playing late all the time. I'm basically living in the game room once we get our space. You lived at home until you were 25, saving money for a house. Yeah, I moved out. I think I was 22 when I moved out, and I'm gonna be 25 now. But now that that I'm getting married, there's no way I can save money with paying the rent that I pay here. Which city am I living in? I'm in Plantation, Florida, which for everybody who's not in Florida, it's basically just like 30 minutes north of Miami. So I'm basically in the Miami, Fort Lauderdale area, if that helps break it down for you. Married, how do we meet? Yeah, we've been together for probably like 4 or 5 years now. We met at church. Man, this was a while ago. But yeah, we met at church. I played basketball at my church. They had like a sports night, and I was there to play basketball, and she was there, and we met there, and been together ever since. So, and thank you. Don't know if you mentioned or heard yet, but what was the outcome? Excuse me. What was the outcome of the Arcade1Up poll? I know TMNT was ahead, but you think we'll get this year? We're definitely not going to get it this year, and anything in that poll, I don't think we're getting anything this year from that poll, and I don't even know really what the outcome of the poll was. Like, I don't know if they didn't say whether they're taking the highest ranked one and making the cabinet. I think they were just doing that for basically just a survey purpose, to see what everybody wants, to see how they could look into making those cabinets in the future. But I definitely don't think we're getting those cabinets anytime soon. Maybe next year. Appreciate it, Tai. No, definitely not giving up on my passion, and she knows that. And I was into toy collecting when she met me, so she knew all that. And yeah, I'm never gonna stop gaming, never gonna stop toy collecting, and that's pretty much that, man. Even when I have kids, man, it'll be better when I have kids, because I'll be able to share all of this with them. My kids aren't gonna grow up like playing the latest Xbox or the latest PlayStation. Like, my kid's first game is gonna be an NES, and then we'll graduate into Super Nintendo and move on. I want my kids to appreciate all of the gaming stuff. No, man, that game room's approved whether she wants it or not, man. But no, she's fine with it. She doesn't care. She knows this is me. This is who I am. And she definitely knows that we're getting a 2-bedroom apartment, so I can have my own dedicated section. Instant fan from California. Where are you from? Well, I was born in New York, I'm in Brooklyn, and I lived there till I was about 7, and then I moved to Florida, like I said earlier, basically the Miami area, and I've lived here ever since, and I'm about to be 25, so from 7 to 25, I've been living here. I've been wanting to do streaming gameplay, but I don't have a capture card, so that's one thing that sets me back from doing it. But I definitely want to do it. I've been looking into it, actually, how to stream gameplay and stuff, and now that I have the Xbox One X that I can just stream directly from that, I'm going to look into doing that. I just have to figure out exactly how it works. Streaming, to me at least, it seems very complicated, streaming gameplay. But I am working on that. It's something I have been looking into. What's my favorite system of all time? Super Nintendo is my favorite system of all time. And there's so many great games on the Super Nintendo, man. And I don't know, man. There's just something about the Super Nintendo. That whole 90s era and just the gray with the purple. And I love Super Nintendo so much. I have the Super Nintendo Classic. And I just recently got the 3DS that looks like a Super Nintendo. Got that for Amazon Prime Day for only $150 for this. So this was really cool. I really love the Super Nintendo. There's something about it. Bro, go to sleep if you're tired, man. You could watch the live stream in the morning. But I'm actually not going to go too much longer, actually. It's 11:37. I'm going to go till 11:45, so just hang in there for about another 8 more minutes. What is my favorite RPG game on the Super Nintendo? I actually didn't play a lot of RPGs on the Super Nintendo, but I'd probably say from the ones that I have played, Super Mario RPG. And I haven't even played through all of that. I've only played through a portion of it. But Super Mario RPG was pretty awesome. Yeah, the Super Nintendo version of Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting is actually the version of Street Fighter that I grew up on. Not by choice. My older brother, he's 10 years older than me. So basically whatever games he had are the games that I played. And luckily, he had Hyper Fighting, he had a Super Nintendo. So that means I had Hyper Fighting and I had a Super Nintendo. The 3DO, I mean, I appreciate it, but I wouldn't say it's my favorite system of all time. What's my first game? I honestly have no idea what my first game was. I mean, like I said, I grew up with whatever games my brother had. But one of the first games I can remember personally owning myself as a child, maybe Pokemon Yellow version. Um, yeah, maybe that, but I'm not sure. That's a tough question. Am I gonna do a convention? I don't think anybody really is looking or knows about me. I would like to do conventions and stuff, but I don't think my channel's that big yet. Hopefully one day. Definitely I would like to do conventions and stuff, but right now I'm just a regular person. Like, I have almost 3,000 subscribers, but I don't feel famous at all, or like, I don't even feel known, really, you know what I mean? Any RPGs on my 3DS? Actually, the only game I have on my 3DS is Samus. Hold on, I have it right here. Metroid Samus Returns, the Collector's Edition. That's the only game I have right now. I had a 3DS when it originally came out. What year was that? Like 2013? Hold on a sec. There we go. Almost fell off the chair. And I had a couple games on it. I had the Ocarina of Time remake. I had Mario Tennis, I believe, which that one sucked on the 3DS. I had the 3DS when it first came out. I don't remember what games I actually had on there. It's been a while, but I know for sure I had the Ocarina of Time remake. Oh man, what is my favorite game on the Super Nintendo? That's tough. I don't think I have a for sure favorite game, but some of my top games, obviously Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country 1, obviously Street Fighter 2, Mario Kart, of course, um, Super Metroid. I mean, so many great games. Let me see what I have in my collection that I consider like some of my top games. Oh, Aladdin. I love Aladdin. What else do I have? I thought Mario Paint was cool, even though growing up I wasn't able to play Mario Paint, Jason, because for some reason you had Mario Paint but didn't have the actual mouse attachment for it. And Super Scope as well. We had Super Scope, and I remember for the longest we didn't have that the scope either, so I'm not sure why we had those games without the attachments. But yeah, Super Nintendo is definitely my favorite console of all time, and it sucks because I want a official Super Nintendo. I don't have one in my collection because they're going for so much money now. I don't know why people want like $80 for a Super Nintendo. I think that's one of the more expensive retro consoles to get. Yeah, I know an NES you can find for decently priced. Even Nintendo 64s you can find for like $20-30 on eBay, but to find a Super Nintendo in good condition, it's like $80, and I have no idea why. I'm definitely not going to pay $80 for a Super Nintendo, but eventually one day, hopefully in the thrift store or something, I'll come across a Super Nintendo so I can finally add one to my collection. Oh yeah, you guys are 3 hours behind us, so it's not that late for you guys. I don't remember doing that on the Crash. Have I watched Gravity Falls? No, and I'm not entirely sure what that is. Your first CD was Michael Jackson's Dangerous. Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice. Yeah, my channel was doing okay. I mean, it wasn't doing bad at all, but Arcade1Up has definitely helped my channel a lot, and I'm enjoying it, man. I enjoy interacting with all you guys. I enjoy making the content, and I'm enjoying you guys enjoying what I'm doing for you, so it's pretty cool. I'm an elite to you. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Star Fox on Super Nintendo. Hey, that was really ahead of its time. Did you get the Super Nintendo Classic where they had the unreleased Star Fox 2 on there? Yeah, I've been wanting to do a video the last couple days on updates for Arcade1Up, but I haven't been able to find anything. So hopefully this week brings some new updates and news. Star Wars on Super Nintendo was so hard. Oh my god. That was a very difficult game. Well, while we were in Florida, I definitely don't remember those attachments at all. I remember seeing the Super Scope attachment. I don't ever remember the Super Nintendo mouse. I wouldn't say Aladdin is necessarily better on the Genesis. I feel like they're both equal. They're very different games on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, but they're both great games. I think the Genesis may have had a little bit better graphics, but you can't go wrong with either version. They're really great games. I influenced you to get the Street Fighter 2 cabinet? Oh, man. Hey. You can never go wrong with Street Fighter, man. Honestly, that's my opinion. So, I'm glad you're getting the Street Fighter cabinet. Do I have any Marvel Funko Pops? No. Hold on, behind me. No, I have the entire Space Jam set. I have all of the Mighty Morphin Rangers. And I have the bad guys on the way. And then back here I have some of the Ghostbusters and some Rocky figures. And no, I'm not really that big into horror movies. Yeah, man, I can't stand the trolls. And the thing about trolls is they usually don't expect the person making the video to really respond back to them. So I've always loved messing with trolls, and when they comment on videos, I'm always active in the comments. So I definitely I like to go off on the trolls and even call them out in the videos and stuff. So you know, trolls are gonna troll, but I'm gonna troll the trolls right back. But it's been getting to the point lately where I just had to. They're getting very annoying, and I just had to stop. I gotta learn to stop responding to them. So. We'll see. I mean, I'm still gonna troll the trolls every now and then, but I gotta cut it down a little bit. Yeah, I definitely think the Street Fighter cabinet's gonna sell the most, and I think Rampage is gonna be right behind it. There's a lot of hype, behind the Rampage cabinet. How many trolls have I trolled back? Man, I lost count. Especially with this whole Arcade1Up bringing a whole bunch of new people to my channel. There's a lot of trolls that I've had to troll. How do you think the 1-Up Street Fighter cabinet will hold up to guys playing without the cabinet? I honestly don't think the cabinet's gonna move around. I mean, it is 60 pounds, so I don't think with moving the joystick around like that, I really don't think it's gonna shake the cabinet back and forth. I think it'll hold up, especially from the short little gameplay clips I've seen. It looks to be, you know, solid and stay in place. Yeah, that one troll that tried to battle me. He wasn't ready. Yeah, the thing with sending... Here's the reason why they sent the cabinets to that girl, even though she really had no idea what she was doing. She has a bunch of subscribers, number one. And number two, her audience has nothing to do with video games whatsoever, at least that I'm aware of. So by her showcasing the cabinet on her channel, it brings that cabinet to a whole new audience who probably didn't know about the cabinets beforehand, and maybe after seeing her video they were interested on it and decided to pick one up. So that's what that is, really. What are my hobbies other than video game collecting and YouTube? That's really it. No, I play basketball. I don't play as much now, but I like to play basketball. I like watching basketball. But I mean, that's really it, man. Just playing video games. I like to go thrifting. I go to the thrift stores a lot, obviously to find video games. But there's just something exciting about going thrifting every week. You never know what you're gonna find. So I do consider thrifting a hobby. You know, and I'm into like hip hop, and so I listen to a lot of new music. Watch a lot of like rap battles. I collect sneakers as well. I don't just collect toys and video games. I have a sneaker collection. I have a basketball jersey collection. So I'm into a lot of different things, man. It's never just one thing. I'm into multiple different stuff. Ooh, too many. Let me see. Yeah, one guy said the ball knob because it just screws on or whatever. Someone said that there's a way around that, though. They said it happened to them on their standard arcade cabinet. But it may just have been his that's loose. I don't know. I played a couple matches of War in PUBG. I really only play it when, like, I have just a couple minutes to play. I don't have, like, a half hour. It's okay. It's very fast paced. Yeah. Thank you, Darkwing. I appreciate it, man. Honestly, you're too kind. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I said I was going to end this at 11:45. It's 11:50. So does anybody have any questions before we go that you want me to answer? If you have any questions or whatever, I'll answer them. Thanks to everybody who came through. Again, you guys are amazing. We went for a whole nother hour, which is just amazing that you guys are so interested to really talk to me for an hour. I think that's pretty crazy, and I've always waited and wanted this day to happen. I mean, I still don't feel like I'm a big channel or anything, but it's really cool being able to sit down and just talk to you guys for an hour, even if it's through a chat or whatever, man. That's really amazing, and I really appreciate you guys. You know, I was doing podcasts before I started this Arcade1Up thing weekly, where I would just talk to myself, basically. I would just talk and say whatever's on my mind for like 20 minutes. But I think I'm going to stop the podcast now and just do the live streams with you guys. I think it's way more interactive. It's a lot more fun. And I don't know, that's that, man. Well, we got some comments going. What's going on here? Yeah, man, one more month left. The hype is real. I don't think we'll get a Nintendo cabinet. It'll be amazing if we do, but Nintendo, they're very stingy with giving out their licenses to third parties, so we'll see. Yeah, Ty, I'll hit you up later. I don't know if I'm going to play tonight because it's getting late and I got to be up early, but definitely tomorrow we're going to play, bro. I'm no expert on like arcade parts or anything, but I would imagine you can find some decently cheap parts on eBay. That's just me. Hey, bro, you too. Have a nice weekend. You don't want to talk. You just like my shirt. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. All right, guys. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. You guys have a good night. I appreciate all the love and support, and I'll be back with many great videos. And yeah, man, I'm enjoying this live stream. So I'll be back with many great videos, and stay tuned. Share this live stream with your friends. It's gonna be up on the channel afterwards. If for whatever reason you guys want to revisit it, it'll be uploaded whenever YouTube's done processing it. And that's pretty much it. So I'll catch you guys on the next live stream, on the next video, whatever the next thing is that we're doing. I'll catch you guys there. But let me go ahead and end this live stream. Where is the end live stream button? Here it is. I'll see you guys next time.